Welcome everyone to MLC night. Whoa.
Patchy.
Hello.
Are you ready? Day question mark, question mark, question mark. The lockdown.
No. No
No?
more lockdowns. No more lockdowns. Ah!
I'm like,
Are you okay?
that was visceral reaction that I did not expect.
Look at the broadcast screen.
Call me. Oh, I can't hear anything. Hold on.
I also
Okay.
can't hear, so I'm opening it up right now to increase the volume.
Oh boy,
Thank you.
I'm turning it down then.
Just look at it. That's all we've been putting out since you went down. You have to fix it now.
Okay.
Left, Alex, out the window.
Okay, looking left.
See?
Holy
They're all
heck.
over it, little bastards.
Oh fuck!
You're going to need a full charge to clear that many off.
Okay, full
Hold down
charge.
the big
What-
button
what is
until
this,
it's
FNAF?
fully charged.
Okay.
Then release it to zap the little fuckers.
Okay.
Oh my
Just so you
God.
guys know, this is mature stream, dark humor. There's gonna be swearing.
Excellent, Alex. We're broadcasting
Did we just
again.
electrocute a
It
bunch
must
of
have built up while you
babies?
were napping.
You'll
Pretty
find out.
much.
It only takes a tap on the button to clear one. Look, there's a lone one climbing now. Zap it off before it starts to mess up the signal again.
Like,
Great.
God.
That seems to be the last of them. For now. Right. We're
Why
about a
is
minute
Jenny
out.
talking to us
Get the
now?
adverts loaded up. I've got to deal with my pet idiot. And Alex, keep your ears open. You'll hear them climbing up the tower.
Got it.
Don't let
great.
them build up.
Jenny.
Okay. Reflections. Compassionate statement.
This has no credibility, Jenny.
Oh,
Internalism?
employee training video?
Should we see
No
it?
Yeah.
professionalism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a mess.
Okay.
Everything is where it
What's
should be.
crazy music?
It's ramshackle and characterful, and I'd expect you to know the difference. Of course Megan's place looked lovely, but I can't see it, can I?
Thanks, Jenny. How's lock-in with the boyfriend going?
Decided to take his
We
chances
can't
on the
hear
wild
her.
streets, eh? Rather than endure another romantic comedy.
Jeremy, Jenny says your hair looks stupid.
Yes, I can hear her.
She says she's not talking to you.
Yes, I know, I can hear her.
Shall I count us in?
Make it so.
Okay, 10 seconds. Break a leg, everyone.
Preferably a furry one.
What?
5, 4, 3,
Very leg.
Good evening, I'm Jeremy Donaldson.
and I'm Megan Wolf. Our main stories tonight.
Snugglefucked? It's been almost 5 weeks since all the Mrs. Snugglehugs toys woke up simultaneously in factories worldwide and began searching for their husbands. The Mr. Snugglehugs we had so short-sightedly destroyed. And now,
4.
as this photograph
B.
suggests, they may be changing tactics.
Built to surprisingly traditional gender stereotypes, the Mrs. Snugglehugs have been arming themselves with a variety of household implements. All the more reason to make
Oh,
sure that
boy.
cat flap is taped up good and tight.
Excuse me.
This frightening new development means
Why
that
weren't-
even those previously thought to be relatively safe,
Why weren't
like the
you,
young and
like,
fit, must
switching
take
to
care
Megan?
to watch their backs and keep their ears
I
open
forgot I was
for the soft
playing a
steps
game.
of sinister feet.
Going stir crazy. With no
Go me,
signs
go me.
of Mrs. Snugglehug's batteries running out and the government lockdown now in its 31st day, domestic relationships across the country are taking some unexpected turns.
Dramatic reports are beginning to emerge of uncharacteristically bold behaviour in homes across the country. And we're not talking about the model planes that occupy so much time in the Donaldson
3.
household.
In response to a
Too late.
nationwide lack of toilet paper, which was of course raided
Oh
by
God,
Mrs.
no.
Snugglehugs to
You
You
What was
need
this
it to
game
be a bit
made?
faster?
many of the nation's adults have turned to a more childish solution.
Oh, I didn't realize. Okay, I didn't realize what it was.
Excuse.
Locked and loaded, Shin Calligraphy Johnny Hamsleeves seems to be taking his own unique approach to being locked in.
Since checking into rehab, not
Oh.
much has been heard
I
from
am
the
playing
former
a
role
game.
model,
Sleeves.
but this latest photo leaked by another resident today seems to confirm
3.
that all might not be well at Gentle Touches.
Poor old Johnny seems to be back to his old ways,
Oh, no.
taking what looks like to me the electrifying mixture of zap, crackle, fizz and buzz, or as I call it, Thursday.
The shape of things to come. In their own version of a lockdown for more than 45 years now, the
God,
descendants
no, I
of
don't wanna-
doctors David Wong and Ingrid Sporsborgen-Horgensvoord and their unfortunate team
I was like,
today
I-
managed
I
to get
fu-
a
I was
personal
fully
statement
expecting
to
to
the
say
surface
Australia.
using flagellized imaging equipment.
Many of the Forsborg and Horgans brood, as they've come to be known, have certainly captured the public imagination, with a recent vote naming Helveticus Forsborgen Wongensford the most likely to survive a massive electric shock.
This is Times Forsborg and Mongersford of the new Roman army.
How do they even say it?
It's us on the walls of the caves at night. Whispers that none of us can understand. Words were meant to hold up, but they
If I recall correctly, last time when we were streaming this section of the game, it started lagging a lot. So if the game starts to slow down for everyone on stream, I'm sorry.
Okay, good to know.
But I can't do anything about it. I'm fighting off fluffy animals.
Wait, are those Mrs. Snugglehugs that
It's
are
hard to believe
fighting?
they've been down there
Yep.
so long now.
Yep.
But as everyone knows,
Oh.
time moves differently underwater, Jeremy. That's why goldfish are so stupid.
That's right. As anyone will tell you, the deeper the ball,
The thicker the goldfish.
there's no denying the logic of that.
Oh, I missed that one.
Class war, a worrying turn today for the
Alright.
formerly rich as ever more punishing measures are announced, Alex.
With the country becoming ever more hostile to the previously wealthy, those who manage to escape the country must be very grateful to the people who help them right now.
We have it from several sources that rich
Why
runaways
teeth?
have actually begun to spontaneously lose their teeth one by
Well,
one.
that's why.
Is
What?
it some sort of cosmic justice, or has
That's not
masked
how that
vigilante
works.
dental Dennis been up to his old tricks again?
And Advance speaks out. With the snuggle struggle proving a test to governments around the world, Advance HQ released a curious statement this afternoon.
In the accompanying release, they asked us to stress
I
that
would
they
like to
have
try to
been
hear this
listening,
guy.
and that this should be taken as a response
I was gonna say the
to how
guy.
the people
Yeah, I
move
want to try to hear him.
We've
Maybe he'll be
certainly done
swearing
our
a
bit on
lot.
this show to contribute
Oh
to
no,
the
what if he
political
swears a
climate.
lot?
But let's not
That's
forget,
fine. You're ready.
It's not fine. I have to press the
It's not
censor
really
button.
matters.
Let's hope it's not just
Okay.
me who filled out that questionnaire, Jeremy, or we're all in trouble.
Let's play that statement.
Good evening. One of the many new jobs I have in this current crisis is to liaise on a daily basis with the Department of Perambulation, and they have made me aware of these. Now, these
How come he hasn't started
are
swearing yet?
genuine requests from
You know, right?
citizens
That's just
for
lined
permission
paper.
to go outside. Now, I would like to share a few of these with you tonight under the loose heading
Not
of
drunk,
what the
that's
fuck
probably
is
why.
wrong with you people?
Never mind.
How difficult
is.
is
There
this
it
to
was.
grasp? I'd like to start with James from Angerhampton, who says he needs to go out because there's a duck in the park that I like to try and feed on a Friday. I call him Mr. Quackington, and I think we're really
I'm getting war
starting
flashbacks
to
to,
bond.
like,
No,
the
James,
place people
they make
people
their
were making,
hives in
yeah.
parks. And then Katie from Self-Righteous on Sea wants to go out so she can deliver homemade meals to the elderly. No, Katie, stay at home. Your casserole's dire, and Shirley can get by with tins of creamed rice from the 1950s. And
God.
you, Lewis from Hamble Bamblebury, those screams you heard
Humble
in the alley
Bamblebury.
last night behind your house are best left to the police. Now, I want to make
God.
this as clear as I can.
God.
Think first. Stop sending me stupid, sodding requests and stay inside.
I mean, fair.
Pretend it's not happening until we tell you it's all over. Thank you.
Ridiculous stuff.
He didn't even swear this much. That's
Later
amazing.
Right?
Jeremy will be probing
Amazing.
Heartthrob
Yeah.
reporter Patrick Bannon, while I take a deep dive into some controversial opinions with two familiar faces.
And then, in our third segment, and presumably because our editor is also working from home, there's going to be
I'm
a
not
bloody
working from
quiz.
home.
I
Oh
can't
my
wait.
god.
Don't do that.
And in a moment, Jeremy Grumpelson and I will be asking
Jeremy
controversial
Grumpelson!
where everyone went wrong.
And psychic scientist Dr. Delia Lywell will be joining us, presumably to provide a bit of false hope.
Maybe she'll tell you how you're going to die, Jeremy.
Too late. I'm certain it happened months ago.
That's all coming up on tonight's
National Nightly News.
That's so.
Oh, I saw one wiggly boy. Goblins. Wait, there was a Mrs. Snuggle.
Jeremy.
God.
First tonight, how did we get here? Where are we going? And most
we
importantly,
get
who's to blame?
Who's to
Joining us from her
blame?
villa on the island of San Palmerino is CEO and socialite Sophia Remington.
Thank you for having me, Megan. I am loving your hairdo, babe.
Wait.
And from her crystal heating laboratory and what
That's
I assume is
different.
a garage in Lower Uppington, Doctor, it says here, Delia Lywell.
Oh my god.
Remember? She was in a business suit last time.
Us?
Don't. Miss Remington, your toys are rampaging across the developed
what
world.
changed?
Your company is worth less than my annual salary, and your country's president recently called you a national disgrace. Have you taken your eye off the ball?
Me.
Oh, honey, you're
Well,
so
it's true.
cute
I'm
when
the
you're
change.
angry. The thing with you
Hi,
folks
hi,
over there
that
is
is
you
true.
have an island mentality. You can't see the bigger picture.
So, what is the bigger picture?
The bigger picture is lithium
Because of the
batteries.
money, maybe?
Our
She
toys
made
have been
money
running for
because of
upwards
us
71
selling the
days now
snuggle
with
hug
no
things?
signs
Oh
of
my
them slowing
god.
down
Yeah, you're
whatsoever.
right.
Imagine what that means for the future.
It means we don't know when the hell this lockdown's going to end, doesn't it? You don't seriously believe Remington's fist can survive this?
Lithium batteries are gonna change everything, tiny ogre. They're gonna power our new transport systems, make technology portable. Hell, this might even take us into space.
But how can you make them with everyone at home?
Oh, don't you worry about that. Thanks to the work of thousands of tiny hands, they're already
Tiny
pouring off the
hands?
production line.
Tiny hands.
Times are good for Remington's fist.
But surely you have no
Children?
future.
Child labor?
Excuse me, hello, yes, if we might. This is our area of expertise.
What, multinational economics?
The future, Mr. Donaldson, to which we are all connected.
Yeah, okay, I'll bite. Why not? There's clearly nothing better to do. So, what does your scientific process tell you about the future of Sophia Remington, Doctor?
We see her on a balcony. Foreign soil, but not foreign land. An age will pass.
Fascinating.
Wasn't it just?
Delia, you are amazing. We have to fly you out here to the island to do that for my guests. They're gonna love you.
Unfortunately, all flights are grounded because of your tiny, deadly stowaways.
Not all flights, honey. Dee, call me. And you, Maggie. The more the merrier. Bring your swimwear.
Miss Remington, you seem completely ignorant to the seriousness of the situation. Do you take any responsibility at all for the global crisis?
Careful! It's a trap.
It's not a trap. Why are you helping her?
She seems fun.
You bet your ass I'm fun.
Please
Wait,
answer
that wasn't
my
a
question,
swear?
Miss Remington.
Listen,
Yes, not.
are lithium
Huh.
batteries the most incredible invention the world has ever seen? Probably yes. But, in fact, who am I kidding? It is definitely yes. But will they last forever? Sadly, no. One day, all the Mrs. Snugglehugs will just stop. It'll be like a miracle. And then we can all go back to the grand tradition of buying products again. Because I really don't mind telling you this, it is really hitting our bottom line. Except for sponges. We seem to be selling an assload of them.
Dr. Lywell, do you have an indication of when or how this might end?
Well, it's not an exact science.
Not even a real one.
But our sensors tell
Not
us
even a real
that
one.
there will come a
Jeremy.
day when there will be clouds in the sky, the grass will be rich and verdant, and the birds will sing at dawn, and that shall be the day when we walk forth again.
I find that strangely comforting.
That could literally be any day.
Let's hope it's soon.
Clouds, grass, and birds. That's literally every day.
Let's hope it's not too
He's got a
soon.
point.
I'm kind of hoping we can make it to the 100 days. It sounds good on a commercial. Besides, if it lifts now, the children will have to go back to working normal hours.
Well, let us
I'm
ask
sorry,
the
what?
professors for
So-
our
okay, so
We'll
it
have to go
is.
back to
No,
working
it's
normal
not,
hours. Okay,
eh?
child labor.
I'll drink
Great.
it.
Child labor.
Stay strong and party on.
Sophia Remington, Dr. Delia Lywell, thank you for joining us.
When we come back, we'll be reaching out around the country to see what's really happening out there.
Don't go away. We'll be back after these sandwiches.
Well, she's a Hindenburg.
Sandwiches?
Fuck up.
I mean, she's fun at a social level.
I wouldn't want to be on her board.
Christ, no. She's going to drive that company into the fucking ground.
Hey, don't swear. I can hear you guys. Oh, wait, the advertisement. There you go.
More than ever.
Hello, mate.
Oh,
It's Dave. You're not going to believe this, but I've decided to come home.
oh, okay.
Listen, I'll call you back at the next break and we can talk about how I get me job back.
Oh,
Cheers,
nice.
Alex. See you,
Okay,
mate.
I'm out of a job
And the
now.
isolation idealists,
What?
the healthcare heroes, and the lockdown lovers.
I'm sorry, what?
We say
Exactly,
you're
you said it, I've
still
said it. He
aging.
must
What?
know he's not getting anymore.
What do you mean you're still
I just don't
aging?
want it
What?
getting back to him that it came from us.
Oh,
No, Jenny. You're not backing out on me now. We're in this together. It's gonna work. We'll get him. I've made the cake. You're on the balloons. I've got no idea how old he is.
oh, they're planning a
40,
birthday party.
17? Yeah, ready. Okay, coming back.
How cute.
In
40,
5,
17.
4, 3.
It's a party for Jeremy.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. I'm Megan Ruth. Now it's time to take a trip around the country to hear how the lockdown might impact the nation from some friendly faces.
Yes.
Joining me are respected academic Katie Brightman
Oh,
and
boy.
author of Alan James's Kites,
Oh,
Alan
boy.
James. Thank you for
Alan
joining
James's
me.
kites.
It's a pleasure. Thanks for having me, Megan.
Thanks, Megan. It really is a pleasure, Katie. I enjoyed our little heated encounter.
I wish I could say the same.
So first off, Katie, how are you coping?
I'm holding up okay. The lockdown directive was so sudden that, like many people, I haven't been able to get home.
Oh no, what happened?
I was staying at a hotel after an international policy convention, and we had a particularly heavy night out. You know what economists are like.
Notoriously hate splitting the bill.
And I overslept.
Oh.
And as you can imagine, I've been here ever since. But there are certainly people much worse off than me.
Exactly. My tour has been cancelled indefinitely, and I've had to refund every single ticket, even the cheap seats.
Oh, Alan, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah, people are being quite rude about it. They don't seem to realise I've already...
Give me like 1 second.
Oh,
Okay.
hi.
It's still quite soft for me.
Mm-mm.
And
Hey,
like,
hey.
this time, despite I'm playing, I actually want to try to enjoy the story too more.
spent it
There we go.
filling the beach house with beef.
The crisis claims yet another victim.
So, this is just a reminder that my book, Alan James's Reich, is now available
Reich.
in paperback.
Right.
Unbelievable.
What was that?
You. You're unbelievable.
So, Katie, how do you think this might affect the economy? Should we be worried?
Very, Megan. Not to sound dramatic,
Should
but
we be
this could
worried?
be catastrophic.
It could?
Unemployment has skyrocketed, and frankly, it will be a miracle if a lot of businesses can survive
It
this.
feels
There
like
you
we
go.
almost living it.
Fear-mongering again, spreading this latest liberal hoax. That's what they want. They want us quiet. Shh. They want us compliant. And they want us inside.
A hoax? How on earth can you say that, Alan?
Well, I haven't actually seen one of these supposed toys. Have you?
Well, no.
How have you
Did
not
you
seen
know
it?
3,000 people die
Yeah.
every year from regular toys?
Their
That's
toys?
a lot of people.
Oh God,
This
he's
is
an
no
anti-vaxxer.
You're just as likely to be hunted down by a yo-yo or a tennis
He's an
racket.
anti-vaxxer,
He
but in
makes an
toy form.
excellent and persuasive point, Katie.
Anti-toyer.
Don't
Toy.
listen to her, Katie. The press are the enemy of truth.
She's agreeing with you, Alan, you absolute shit.
Well, then I must be wrong.
Alan, are you now recanting your statement that these toys aren't dangerous?
People are saying they're just like normal toys, and that simply
Yeah.
isn't true. Corrupt media
Yeah, they're not true.
lies.
What?
Katie, how do you
Oh.
respond to Alan's claims that Mrs. Snugglehugs might be dangerous after all?
It is
I
dangerous.
suppose I guess I'm agreeing with him.
Thank you, Katie. I appreciate your
Way they were
support.
wording it, it's like he was
A
like,
lot of
oh, it's
folks
not
are saying
actually a
this
big
Mrs.
deal. So I was
Snugglehouse
like,
situation
Oh, hi,
will blow
Joey.
over, but it won't.
Yeah, will he?
Yes,
Oh,
right,
he's awesome,
exactly.
right?
We need decisive action from the government.
He
we
looks
need
excited,
Huge
look at
financial
that.
support to protect our workers and our businesses. We need to support the vulnerable, and we need
To repent. Exactly right.
Hello,
Katie.
Yui. Yes, this
We
game is
brought it
always
on
wild.
ourselves with all our liberal indulgences like art, cake, and healthcare. We need to act now and begin sacrificing our firstborn, or at a push.
Sorry,
for
what?
Sorry?
pets.
Sacrificing our
Absolutely,
firstborns?
Alan. If we can all successfully
we
come
have no
together
children.
as a community and perform the ritual, hopefully we will appease
That's
the great
beautiful.
ancient.
Sandwich.
Beautiful. I know. Look at that.
Katie, could it be any worse?
Luckily, over the past few years under advance,
Yui,
they've
Hiro,
invested
hello.
heavily into health. So the system can actually bear the
Sacrificing our
strain.
Is
firstborn.
it
You know,
lucky
like
that the
normal
Lama
people.
Lords have unleashed a horde of
Yeah,
man-made
that's-
monsters
that's
on
like-
its
that's
own people
tradition.
To conceal the enemy within?
Will you just stop for 5 fucking seconds?
The Global Alliance of Fish People are amassing an army amassing an army to kidnap.
My goodness. My goodness.
That's you. That's what you sound like.
But
Meh.
I
Meh.
the,
Meh.
the
Meh.
I don't sound like that.
Yes, you do.
You do, Ellen. You do sound like that.
And that's why no one wants to be your friend.
I got loads of friends.
No, you haven't.
I don't think you do, Alan.
Yeah, stop lying, Alan.
I'm not lying. You are.
Oh, good one.
Well, I'm telling.
Alan James.
Alan, you know what they
Katie
say about
Brightman, thank you
snitches?
for joining me. Some real
Wait,
food
what?
for thought there from
Yeah.
two of the territory's leading minds.
They're married.
They're
Any
married?
moment now, I'll be heading over to Jeremy, who is going to be bringing us an up-to-the-minute report
Jeremy.
of the status of the nation. Over to you, Jeremy.
Thank you for what I'm sure was a reasonable debate, which really contributed to the national conversation. Next, out on the streets, someone who's always doing exactly that. It's Patrick Bannon. Are you there, Patrick?
Hello, Jeremy. Yes, hello, I'm here. I'm here live. Apologies for the quality of the broadcast today. Couldn't find any cameramen or women brave enough to come and join me, so I'm out here on my own.
Right. Can you tell us what it's like out there?
Yep, I can.
I'm sorry, viewers. Jeez.
My question, Jeremy, is just...
Sorry, what are the numbers?
Could there be danger lurking just around the corner, waiting to end the fledgling career of this young, promising journalist before his full
2 and
potential
3,
is even
okay.
realised? Will he die, underappreciated by management, and frankly, if you ask me, very, very much underpaid?
I don't think there's any danger of that, Patrick. What's that on your jacket there?
Oh, that's actually a sponge. What I've done here is made a snuggle-proof jacket, Jeremy. The network didn't bother sending me any PPE, so I've been forced to improvise. In fact, showing the sort of resourcefulness that would make me an ideal candidate for, I don't know, for example, an anchor position starting whenever they'd like.
From your point of view, Patrick,
Wow.
just how safe are our streets?
Not safe at all, Jeremy, not safe at all. I'd recommend people staying inside, following government advice, and not putting themselves at any risk at all. Unless, of course, like me, it's for groundbreaking journalism reasons.
Mm-hmm. And just where are you, Patrick?
I'm in the street, on the street.
Which street?
I think I'm struggling to hear you, actually.
What
Jeremy,
street?
there.
Which street? Which street are you on?
Oh, which street am I on? I'm just looking for a sign. There it is. I'm on Bannon Avenue.
Bannon Avenue?
Yep.
Bannon Avenue.
Yeah, no, I can hear you fine. Yep, I'm on Bannon
He's zooming
Avenue.
in
on
with
the
a
sign, it
fake
says there.
background.
Like Patrick Bannon?
Oh yeah, that is like, that's strange. That's a weird sign. I don't know what's going on there.
Where are you really?
I'm on Bannon. Alright, fine. I'm not on Bannon Avenue. I'm at home, to be honest. Alright, fine. Well, I'm in my bathroom technically, but you know, I couldn't face it, to be honest, mate. It's you know, it's terrible out there. I don't want to go outside. They're everywhere.
That's fair.
I'm sorry for lying.
We don't expect any less of you, Patrick.
Can you hear that sound? What the hell's that?
I can, yes. I'm no expert, Patrick, but it sounds unmistakably like a tiny fist tapping on your door there.
Oh fuck, it does.
He's dead.
Oh fuck, Jeremy, shit, no! Oh bollocks, right.
Perhaps there's
There
a
he
small
goes.
queue of tiny fists, each wielding a different gendered household implement, ready to bash in the heads of lying little roving reporters.
But you're lying, aren't you? Oh shit, fucking, listen to me, you bastards! If you're out there, just to piss off, you little fucking snuggle fucks! I'm too talented to die! Oh,
You're too...
Too talented to die.
I mean, sure.
oh god.
Don't
I'm
worry,
trying to
Patrick,
watch a show.
I'd say you've got a few seconds before they break their way in there and finish you off. What do you see, Patrick?
What do you see, Patrick? Oh! Here they are.
Horrifying.
Here they are. Well,
Thank you, Patrick, for that report, showing the nation, and more importantly, management, just where you belong. It's time for another break, but when we come back, we'll be hoping to take your mind off the world for a little while, and who knows, maybe even bring you a few smiles. Join us after this.
Oh, it's the intern. The intern.
You're damn right. Yeah, I had them delivered.
What?
Yes, to Bannon Avenue.
Belle, did you see that?
I heard something smash and it's fun.
Do you see I'm tracing my mouse?
I can't see your mouth.
Oh,
You can't
it
see
only
it now.
shows up on stream. The window on the right.
Window on the right.
Yep.
Oh, the window's broken?
Yep.
Oh, oh.
Very broken.
Oh. Very hard to see that.
Well, at least you redeemed it during a break. I can do that kind of. And break my voice probably. There you go. I hope you enjoyed. That was the request, the high tone one.
That's... You said awa awa.
Yeah.
Awa.
Close enough. I did it twice. It works.
It's like hawa.
But
That's
higher.
not high tone.
Of course it's not. I was like, hello.
No, I'm not.
Sorry.
I'm not going to.
The fuck?
That guy.
No, you're being a child.
The thing was trying to attack us.
I'm not.
How did it stop?
I clicked it.
I'm not.
Oh.
No. Oh, 5, 4, 3.
Oh,
Welcome back to the National Nightly. Well, welcome back anyway. We know isolation isn't easy, so finally tonight we have something a bit different for you. Even though some people felt it's not our job to entertain the public with absolute nonsense, other, more important people overruled those people. So it's time to find out who will National Nightly win and who will National Nightly lose. Fuck off, Jenny. There's one thing to do this to me. There's not to do So, how do we play? Well, joining me is a man who knows all about playing.
I didn't know. I forgot
Tommy
the
Harris.
cue.
Hello, Tommy.
All right, Johnny. It's good to see ya.
And how are you finding the lockdown, Tommy?
What do you mean lockdown?
It's Tommy.
The enforced isolation of everyone in the country.
You remember this guy, Belle?
Yeah, I think I heard about that actually. Yeah.
This is the guy that was at the party,
right? During
right?
nap time, so.
Of course, that's my fault.
The guy who was in sports
Why don't
ball.
you tell us how the game is played?
Well, it's pretty simple.
Yeah,
Jeremy,
in sports
you
board.
sausage. I'm gonna ask contestants from around the territory 3 questions about what else.
I forgot to change the
yours
cameras,
truly.
didn't I?
And those people are gonna get a chance to win a
the fan
very
on?
special prize.
And
What happens when I don't censor? Well,
Drum
the
roll,
audience
please.
doesn't like it.
Jeremy.
What about the fan? Drew said you gotta turn the fan on every time. I don't think it's on.
This.
The fan?
The fan.
She's turned off the trip switch, Alex.
That's what happened.
Well then, what a fantastic prize.
Have we got anybody waiting to win this once-in-a-lifetime prize, Jimmy?
I believe we have Angie on the line. How do you feel about winning this man's old pants, Angie?
I've never been so excited, Jeremy. And can I just say, I love you. Both of you.
Oh, okay.
Well, you've said it now, haven't you?
Okay,
Angie,
then.
I love you. In a way.
Rubbish.
Tell us about yourself, Angie.
Well, what can I say? My name is Angie. Always has been. I'm a human woman. And my dental hygiene has been described
Hey,
as
I mean, I guess
Human
there's like
Brilliant!
snuggle
Right,
hugs or
well,
whatever.
shall we get this shambles underway?
Absolutely, John. Can I get 30 seconds on the clock,
Hold on,
please?
John.
We haven't got a clock.
Yeah, I did ask for a clock.
Did you see that? It was John.
Why
It
don't you
changed to
start?
John.
And
Oh,
I'll stop
it
you
has
if
changed
it
to
inevitably
John.
becomes unbearable to watch.
I love it. All right. Here we go. Time starts. No, now. Question 1. When is my birthday?
the 13th of August at 7:19 a.m.
That
Why
is
do you know that
absolutely
detail?
correct. Question 2. What? I said, what is my favourite colour?
Crushed praline 4.
What?
Correct. The colour of my nipples. Angie, dear,
What?
what is my star sign?
That's a trick question. You were born outside of the human understanding of the cosmos.
I'm sorry, what?
Unbelievable. That is correct.
What the
Stop
hell?
the clock.
Wow, that really was tough to watch. How did you do, Tommy?
Well, Angie, my love, you got every single question right. Which, of course, means you lose and win absolutely nothing. Thanks for playing, Angie. Bye. Do we have another contestant on the line at Jelly Bean?
We do indeed. We should have
Jelly Bean?
Sonia.
Jelly Bean now.
Are you there, Sonia?
Of course I am, Jamie, darling.
Thank you for being here.
Oh, there you are, Tommy. Mwah.
Let me guess, you work in theatre, don't you?
It's now
Is it
Jamie.
that obvious?
No one's getting his name right.
Anyway, was it the glamour or poise?
It certainly wasn't your inherent sense of humility.
Yourself, Sonia.
Oh, well, if you must play this game, I am
I keep clicking this,
theatrical
right?
agent. I represent the likes of Rudy Beefman, Samuel Coffee Cup, and Jodie Carpetburn, amongst others.
And how's the lockdown affected you, Sonia?
Well, they may have closed the theatres, shut the studios, and boarded the cinemas, but they won't get me that easily.
I'll just manage without any work.
Due to
Give
a
praise, I
savvy
clicked the wrong button
clause in all
again.
of my artist contracts,
Thank
I am
you.
able to claim my 15% from their unemployment benefit.
Wow, that certainly is sharp.
Standard stuff, standard stuff.
And can I ask, where are you speaking to us from?
Well, I work from home, you know, to keep costs down.
And who's this?
Oh, well, you know, when they gave the
Hello,
order,
I'm
I was
very
actually
busy and
mid-meeting
focused.
with a client, so we've been isolated together.
No fucking way!
What the fucking fuck?
Is that Tommy Harris? I'm a huge fan. Can I just tell you how
my goodness.
brilliant
Tommy
you
Harris?
Actually, Jeff, we're about to play a game, aren't we, Tommy?
We got time, we got time.
Well, if it's not too bold, I think I am in love with you, Mr. Harris.
No, it's
My
not
goodness.
too bold. That's all right, don't worry.
Hey, I'd love to show you some of my stuff. I've been working on some new shit.
Well, at least you're already aware.
During lockdown, we've been workshopping some of Jeff's ideas for much younger children.
Wow,
People still
wow.
let you know their children,
That
do
is
they?
that is a
That's
word.
right. Yeah. I've been developing some shows for younger children.
Well, we'd love to see it, wouldn't we, Gerbil?
Absolutely
Gerbil.
dying
Gerbil.
So, what do kids love?
Timely child support payments from their absent fathers.
to. Shallow and overproduced musical numbers.
Oh my god.
That's right. Animals! So, I'm trying to address the things that kids need to know, but through a medium that they'll understand. Do you understand?
No.
I think, yes.
you
I think so,
understand?
yes.
Jeff's one of my best clients, aren't you?
I am, yeah. So, the first one we've been working on is called The King of the Jungle's Mortgage Repayments. It's about a lion who's having problems with his interest rates.
Exactly what he
no.
said.
See, does he have a broker?
He does, yes, he's a porcupine. How did you know that?
Well, your work is universal, darling. It speaks to people.
I'm going to say something to you, mate. I think you're onto something here.
Oh, the bear,
Oh,
good bear.
yes, right. This one is much better. So, this one tells the tale of Mr. Bear. Now, Mr. Bear is a very sad bear.
Aren't we all?
Because all of the other bears don't think that he'll amount to much, and they tell him that his plays are lazy and derivative.
I think you're onto something there.
Now, Mr. Bear is a tragic figure. Picture this. He's at his lowest ebb. The trees are closing in. He can't even face his salmon, can he?
No.
But then he meets someone that will change his life forever.
This is fucking gripping.
That's right. He meets a wise, old octopus who takes him under his wing and says, "No, Mr. Bear,
Under his
don't
wing,
be
remember?
sad. You're not like all the other bears. You have this ambition and these dreams."
Such fucking dreams.
I think I love you, Jeff.
And what you need to do, Mr. Bear, says the octopus, probably doing an 8-armed gesture or something.
What you need to do to find happiness in this crazy old forest is you need to set yourself more realistic goals.
It's
Sure.
called Mr. Bear Lowers His Expectations.
Mr. Bear lowers his expectations.
You really have taken yourself to new depths.
Uh-huh.
And what do you want children to take away from this?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck shit, fuck.
Don't swear, this is
I said a
children's
more
thing.
realistic worldview.
Are you all right, Jamboree?
It's Jeffrey. My name is Jeffrey Donington.
No, stop. How does it end? No. We need to know how it ends.
Well,
His name is
all the
Jeffrey
animals learn a
Donington.
thing or two about inevitable mediocrity.
And Mr. Bear settles down near to his parents' cave, stops trying to make his band happen, and he goes into bear telemarketing.
Becomes a bear maths teacher.
Oh, and we end.
Oh no.
Oh,
God.
we end on a big musical number. Oh, there's dancing. It's very repetitive, so it's catchy but not too challenging. Well, if you like, I could go and get my boombox.
Please don't.
Yeah. You know, I might be able to. Hang on. Can we get Angie back?
Why not? The more the merrier, as they say at orgies.
I'm sorry, what?
That's right, I'll just fill then, shall I? Coming up in a moment, it's the world premiere that nobody saw coming.
Lights!
Or wanted. At all. I can only apologise in advance for what we're all about to...
Witness?
Endure.
Endure? Oh no.
Kuranda's on
All
hello.
sorts of creatures down on Dangly Doodle Farm. Like wise old Mr. Octopus with way too many arms. There's Mr. Pig and Mr. Cow. They're always in good moods. But that's cause
Bye,
they
Jeremy.
don't know they'll
Bye,
soon
Jeremy.
be sliced up into food.
There you go.
Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That's where your hopes go to turn into despair. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That's where your dreams go to die. Mr. Raccoon wants to go to the moon. He'll end up as a bus driver soon.
Yo, that is such a high multiplier.
Thinks he'll read the news at 9. He'll end up as a janitor who stinks of turpentine. Mr. Ape got sent down for rape. Didn't work out he was innocent till he was 88. Mr. Bird flew south.
Well, the thing is easy, like the beat.
Ended up on
Yeah.
the river belt with an orange in his mouth. Oh, Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That's the place your mummy pushed your daddy down the stair.
Oh my
Mr.
God.
Bear, 6 months in intensive care. That's why the bitch has to die.
Why was that censored?
What the heck?
The farmer thinks the dangly doodle creatures are asleep. But Mr. Bear's a swinger like the pigs and cows and sheep. He visits every tenant's die and always brings the fun. And jerks off Mr. Quackington, who's always first to come. He fingers Mr.
Oh, good
Badger's
God.
bum and Mrs. Donkey's quid.
Wait, what?
Then he fronts with Mr. Chicken till they both are quite done in. Then he runs around the farmyard trying to shove it where it fits. And ends the night by porting over Mrs. Badger's tits. There's
Why
no
don't I have to
dull moment
censor
down
any
on
of
Dangly
this?
Doodle Farm, kids.
I guess because it's like a song.
But even so, though.
What's that over there? That's the sound of maggots growing underneath your hair. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That is your friends in a pie. Yum, yum. Mr. Bear,
What?
what's that over there? That's a giant spider in the shoe you want to wear. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That is the end, that is mine. That's where your friends go to lie. That's how you'll scream when you die.
Just lovely. Thank you to all our guests tonight. And just before we go, I was hoping you might have a minute or two for a quick chat.
Also, this is...
Come on, love. I'll pop the kettle on and I've got your
It's
favourite
different.
biscuit. Look, Petal, me and your dad do love you very much, we do. I know he doesn't show it, but that's just his way. He'll tell you on his deathbed, just like his father did. And perhaps he'll break down one Christmas and no one will mention it again. The thing is, Pet, it's your marriage. You know Chris and Sam are close and you've been really quite selfish. No, you have, darling. I'm sorry that you have.
What on
All
earth?
Chris wanted was for you to commit a fairly serious crime and help smuggle money out of the country. And you were busy thinking about yourself, weren't you? Now, poor Sam's stuck in the middle. And well, you are a good parent, Alex, you are, but... Oh, you say it, Nigel. You've ballsed it right up, you daft apeth. You've embarrassed yourself and us, you're letting those kids walk all over you. Awful. Awful business, have some bloody respect. Look, love, we're not angry, we're just disappointed. We do hope you can do better in future. I'm Mummy Wolf. Have a remorseful night.
Sorry you had to be here for that, Elle, mate. I really am. Pull your fucking socks up, Sunshine. Disgusting. It was just a shock, Alex. A real shock, a massive fucking shock that's played havoc with your marbles now. Fuck off. Do you hear?
Wow. Lady, chill.
Out! Get out!
Oh my god.
Wait, there's a lot of... Wait, why are they yelling at us?
Yeah, omedeto for getting
Omedeto.
through that. I
Yep.
guess it was much less... What's the word? Hitting. This was so much less hitting, considering she just donned a mum persona to talk to us.
Yeah.
So basically, Megan there, she was talking to us, and she was talking about our choices, like how our children walked all over us, and like we chose to not help Sam, therefore, you know.
Chris, actually.
Right, we chose to not help Chris, so like now Sam's in the middle. Let's see. Darn.
Huh.
So when Ren and I did it, we got our words based on into a song.
Into a song. So we had absolutely no there was no context, or there was no clue that it was gonna be
Well, there was. It was
gonna
like
be a punch
she
to the
did
gut.
say she was like, "This one's for you, Alex," and then we were like, "What?"
What? No, but I mean, at first, because okay, she's looking pretty, and then she's about to sing. You know, this is a funny episode. It felt like that, and then it hit in the gut really hard when she was like, "This is for you, Alex." What? This is live television, Megan. What are you doing?
Yeah.
And then she started dropping bars.
Yeah. Basically, she kind of went because we chose to let Susie go on her trip, but then we didn't choose one of the things to do with Charlie or something. So her
Yes.
line in the song that she kept repeating was, "You clearly love your daughter more," and she kept repeating it at us. And I was just losing it. I was like, "Excuse me." I was expecting a song, honestly.
Me too.
All right. Now Ren needs to go for dinner.
I'll be back. So y'all enjoy the next section. Ha ha ha.
We will.
Ha ha ha.
All right. Have a good dinner, Ren.
Hey, I'll be back, guys.
Hi.
All right. So here on
Also,
the next.
before I leave,
Uh-huh.
please don't spoil guys in the chat, okay? No spoilers, please. While me and Zane have seen it, Belle hasn't, so
That's okay. I took
only
action.
all right. Bye-bye. I'll be back.
Mata. So this
You
part
still have backseating allowed as your tag, saying that might be why.
I do. That was probably from the last game. But backseating and spoilers are different.
That's true.
All right. Let's see.
One second.
Right. The rhythmic beating of the heart monitor brings you slowly back to consciousness. Opening your eyes, you're greeted by a semicircle of concerned faces. Your family, by your side. A reassuringly familiar sight in these new surroundings.
You blink a few times to clear the sleep from your eyes and bring everyone into focus.
You feel a hand on yours, gentle but reassuring. Sam, there with you as always. Their expression, understandably concerned, is somehow more affectionate than ever. Chris chimes in from beside them. Should I do Chris? Alex is fine. We missed the game for nothing. You and Chris still aren't on the great terms, and it's hard to miss the tone of disdain in their voice.
Oh, it is so tempting to pick that second option, I'm not going to lie. So it's either writing self-defense about Chris and squeeze Sam's hand, smiling at them, or really I'm not awake 5 minutes and you're being a dick. You know what? Fuck it. Really? I'm not awake 5 minutes and you're already being a dick? You can't be a dick to a sick person. That's not how this works.
Oh boy. Alex, that's not... Sam starts to protest, but as always, Chris butts in. No, it's fine, Sam. I don't know why I bothered coming here. I'll see you all later, Alex. Chris spits as they leave. Sam sighs, shaking their head before following Chris out, calling after them.
Just as you feel Susie's absence, you notice Charlie squirming uncomfortably, unable to meet your gaze.
Did we play the Mr. Stunglehugs tape? Yes, Belle decided that we would play it. Therefore, we played it. As soon as you turn to look at him, you can see Charlie tense up. He's clearly battling hard to stay mad at you. You look expectantly at him, but he refuses to meet your gaze.
Hey, I'm gonna be fine. We'll be fine again before you know it. You gotta go for that old dad humor.
Charlie looks at you and grins, one of those infectious smiles that spreads around the room. It's always good to have him in your corner. Your smile fades as you notice your mother, staring listlessly out the window. Despite all your best efforts, she's not been doing well lately.
You okay, Mum?
Your mother starts, your call clearly shocking her out of her reverie. She turns to you and smiles, and you're grateful to see the increasingly rare recognition in her eyes. Yes, dear, of course. How are you feeling? You smile warmly and nod, but before you can respond, a doctor bustles in and ushers everyone out. She asks you, for what feels like the 100th time, how you're feeling.
Surprisingly well, all things considered.
Excellent. There's no sign of any real damage, just a bit of shock to the old system, pardon the pun. She smiles. Not that we'd recommend you do anything like that again, of course. After a couple days of rest at home, you should feel right as new. Right as rain.
Turns to leave, but stops at the door.
Oh, and the private room in care, the doctor gestures to your room, which you now notice looks rather expensive, has all been paid for by Mr. Bozeman. He left those flowers and said not to worry and to take the rest of the week off. He'll see you Monday, apparently.
Huh. Seems like the least he could do. I'm surprised he did anything.
So that's the boss guy. And yeah, so we got shocked by the electricity and then we had that dream about the lockdown.
Oh, so that was a dream.
Yeah. Oh, alright, a burden to bear? You come home from a particularly late shift to find the kitchen lights still on, which isn't normally a good sign. Everyone's usually in bed by now. Softly opening the kitchen door, you find Sam sat at the table. Bills and papers are strewn in front of them, as well as what looks to be their second pack of biscuits. Belle?
Just a reminder in chat, please do not post any spoilers. I haven't played the game. Stop posting spoilers, please.
Was that a spoiler?
Yes. You come from a particularly late shift to find the kitchen lights still on, blah blah blah. Sorry, you read all that. They shoot you a strange smile as you take a seat next to them.
Sam frowns and goes back to the bill they're holding. Hey, sweetheart, just looking at the numbers again. They look to the door to the pantry, now converted into your mother's bedroom. We've been doing our best, but I think Cassandra really needs a nurse to look after her now.
Pantry? Seems like a really small place to put someone. Suddenly the bills are all you can see. I mean, we are well off at the moment, so it should be okay.
Fortunately, with the money that's been coming in and what we've been able to save, we got more than enough to keep going. With Susie home to help out, and a nurse would only need to be part-time anyways. Sam smiles at you. I know things have been difficult, and the daily care won't be cheap, but she's your mother. We have to, really, don't we?
Careful, it's not back, of course you'll pay for the care. Your mother's been herself for a while, maybe it's to consider the other option. See, this is tough, because... Yes, it is your mother, but also... like, how much care can you provide, really? Like,
We're gonna have a nurse, watch her.
I guess so. I mean, we are well off.
We are.
Yeah, we'll pay for it. We'll pay for it.
Okay, so the first one? Yosh. The sword of Damocles sheathed, at least for the moment. You grab the papers and stuff them into a drawer. It's such a relief to not have to worry about it anymore. Or so you told Sam. Hours later, you're still awake, staring at the ceiling, thinking.
How long will the money last?
You're watching TV with Sam when Charlie comes home for the evening. School's finished a while ago, but he's been home late more and more often recently.
You both shrug and finish your episode of Me, My Dalmatians, and I.
After it ends, you say goodnight to Sam. You've got an early start in the morning. At the top of the stairs on your way to bed, you notice a few new posters. Oh, you notice a new poster on Charlie's door. It's homemade, but the image is distinct. A fist, seemingly in orange spray paint on a black background. The now well-known symbol of Disrupt.
It seems those friends of his are an interesting bunch. That's interesting, considering he was trying to join the
Advanced Go-Getters, right? But now he's part of Disrupt?
Now he's anti-government.
A letter home. Sam's out with work tonight, and Charlie's staying at a friend. The house is yours. You order a takeaway, have a couple of drinks, and decide to relax in front of the TV. Not a great selection tonight, but surely something to watch.
Comedy, horror, action, or drama? You know what? Since Sam isn't here, we'll do the historical dramas.
Okay. Genghis Khan wasn't ever really something you were interested in, but the drama's not half bad. You even learn a few things, like the fact his real name was Temujin. Who knew? When it's over, you flick through the channels for something else to watch, but a glint under the coffee table distracts you. You reach down to retrieve the mysterious device, remembering Sam's note as you do.
Hey, sweetheart. Charlie lost Susie's present. Would you mind looking for it tonight? X.
As you hold it closer, you're surprised to find the gift's actually an engraved lighter for Chippy. She claims the nickname's affectionate, but Charlie still scowls every time she says it.
You're not sure Sam would approve.
The accompanying note from Susie explains, Kyrgyzstan has a long tradition of glorifying the art of starting fires. Thought you'd like it. Don't do anything stupid. Suze. Hopefully, it's just a souvenir and not a new pastime he's picked up. Or about to pick up.
It's nice that she thought of him. Hey, Azra. Things are getting wild. Is what's happening.
Thank you for the hydrate as well.
Hi, hydrated is.
Yosh.
Let's go.
Mm-mm.
Another day
Gotta
in the
wait
office.
for it to load. We gotta play a day. The silence.
What is this, Doctor Who?
No idea.
Actually, that's also an episode of Buffy.
You're fired.
What?
You're fired.
What for? Facial sabotage?
Jenny, problem? I want her fired today, now.
Why doesn't it work?
Don't worry, Kath, it'll be all right.
What?
No,
Wait, why isn't it? Why can't I click one? Oh,
and get out.
there we go.
I mean it, Kath.
Oh, wow.
Stay
That's
where you are, Kath. Jenny?
This is not Jenny's decision, Jeremy, or yours.
Uh-oh.
I'll talk to Bugs.
Right. Volume. Let me get volume.
Oh.
Tell him I'll return his wife's casserole dish at our dinner next week.
Wow.
Jenny?
Wow, is my... there we go.
I'm sorry, Kath, you're
I
gonna
think that
have to leave.
works.
Letting it go to your head.
She nearly blinded me.
10 seconds, I thought we were all part of a team these days.
Things are better, Jeremy, you know that. Just stop being so high and mighty and do your job.
You'll have me fired too.
Don't tempt me.
Oh boy.
Good evening. I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Dawson. Our main headlines tonight.
The establishment strikes back. The World Council has agreed today to impose punitive sanctions on the people of this country.
The sanctions, which are broad-ranging, include restrictions on the supply of oil and gas, food, clothing, and even some medicines. But how should we react? We asked the public.
I don't know.
What do you think about all these sanctions?
I doubt it make a lot of difference.
And I chose to because Belle
I've
didn't.
lived through 2 world wars and I
Wait,
smoke
what?
40 a day.
I had to pick something?
If that
Yeah,
ain't
a
children, I
reaction?
doubt this will either.
How
Oh,
we feel.
I'm sorry, I was too busy watching the news. I
Didn't
didn't realize it was a...
Controversial Prime
That's
Minister
all right.
Julia Salisbury attempted to assuage growing public concerns with the following official statement released earlier today.
Uh-oh.
The international sanctions declared against this country today by the World Council remind us that now, more than ever, we need to come together as a team. Since coming to power, we have eradicated poverty.
Oh no, getting hacked.
And as a consequence, seen crime fall to levels
Just
we previously thought
interference.
impossible.
Why do you call it getting
Our schools,
hacked?
hospitals and youth clubs are thriving.
I mean,
And
that's
our
what it is,
transition
right?
centres
It's
are
interference.
thousands to unburden their
Yeah,
loved
same
ones
thing.
with dignity.
No.
In any sane world,
No,
these would
don't
be
worry.
held up as a model to emulate.
I forgot how to do the other
This is
thing.
not that world.
Oh, right, like that. Got it.
The privileged few have lobbied, and now they are striking back.
Okay, I can do
We will
this.
not cower before their tantrums. And we encourage other progressive nations of the world to continue to trade, visit, and share their cultures with ours. Do not be afraid.
Alright.
We have more friends than we
Hey,
can
arigato,
count.
Run. I got this.
We are a team.
They did
Now
really
more
good.
than
That
ever.
was smooth.
And this team is on your side. Thank you.
Reassuring stuff. But what do you, the public, think of our refreshingly different government? Robin Short found
3.
out.
I was wondering if you could tell me what you think of the government.
What? That shower of iridescent pricks? Punishing success and rewarding laziness? They're taking this country down the bloody
Why is
swanny.
he swearing?
And it's not just me that
'Cause
thinks
he's
so.
an
My
old
wife
white
Iris,
man.
She agrees.
A whole lot of problems. Protests were held today at the controversial construction site for Remington Smith's physics-defying MOOBS project. Since digging straight through the earth began 6 months ago, the project has been beset by problems, including localized tremors and the heat deaths of many of the workforce.
Residents of the nearby town of Calamity today converged on the construction site with
Smile?
sincere, if misspelled, placards, demanding a suspension
Misspelled
of digging until
placards.
safety checks can be carried out.
Of course, that's half a world away. But what does this country think? Patrick.
How do you feel about the MOOBS project?
Oh my god, I love Sophia Remington. Imagine a tunnel straight through the planet. That's the sort of big idea we need.
How is that a good
She's a
idea?
visionary.
I don't know.
Pipers at the gates
They're all
of
very
dawn.
infatuated with
Commuters
Sophia,
in the
aren't they?
capital this morning found themselves surprised and amused by the latest stunt from popular pressure group Disrupt.
Silent protests were held outside underground stations throughout the capital, bringing a pleasantly surreal quality to the morning commute.
Hey.
Unless, like me, you have a phobia of mimes.
Phobia
But how
of
do we,
mimes.
as a country, really feel about
A
Disrupt?
tunnel going where?
Robin?
Straight to the middle of the eye.
How do you feel about Disrupt?
Ah, well, now you're talking. Ruddy hero, showing us not to take it lying down like Iris here.
So you both feel they're a cause worth supporting?
Oh, Iris doesn't speak her mind, but we're pretty sure there's still one in there, aren't we, love? Wherever it is, it loves Disrupt, fighting the oiks for our freedom. And what can possibly be wrong with that?
Do you need me to get you some help?
Injury time? Fierce rival doctors, David Wong and Ingrid Svorsborg and Horgensford, today sent a joint statement to the surface appealing for an urgent shipment of supplies.
After breaking into two warring factions, things seem to have gone from bad to worse for the ill-fated expedition. They look like they could really use some supplies, Jeremy.
Or possibly a peace negotiator.
Sure.
But with the pair arguably being their own worst enemies, how should we feel about sending them the resources they need to carry on? Patrick Fannin found out.
Surely you can't be happy with supporting both sides in a conflict.
Oh, it's all just good fun, isn't it? Anyway, you can't just arm one side, Patrick, you silly fool. We should definitely send them supplies. They're still people after all, even if they are having a bit of a tiff.
Okay.
Oh no.
I am not a number. Applications finally opened today for the new Advanced Team membership cards, a scheme by the government to allow fast access to all the new public services being introduced daily.
The team membership cards are entirely voluntary, but will be recognised as legal identification by all major organisations, including the police, banks, and, rightfully, pubs and bars.
Oh no, is it going to be that
And of
old
course,
man again?
there's no charge, Jeremy.
That all seems too good to be true.
Well, you've always been a cynic. But most importantly, what should you, the public, think about the new team membership cards?
Team membership cards?
Oh, it is.
Absolutely bloody not. That's the thin end of the wedge, isn't it, Iris? First it's, can I see your identification, sir? And then it's, would you mind bending over the table, sir? So
I'm sorry?
Sergeant State Educated and Constable Regional Accent here can stick their truncheon up your derriere.
Crikey!
They should call them what they are. They're bloody ID cards. Oh, for Christ's sake, what is it, Iris?
Oh, I'm really not happy, Algernon! I'm so sorry.
Oh wow.
Crikey.
Go, ma'am.
And finally tonight, game of two halves.
Wow.
Fresh out of rehab, repentant celebrity sportsman Johnny Handsleeves is promising to turn over a new leaf.
In a surprisingly energetic appearance on the Whitney Chinwag show this morning, Johnny showed everyone he's certainly full of life and raring to go.
You better not try that on our sofas. I doubt they'll survive the frenzy.
But what should we
that's
think of this
referencing
exuberant
Tom
behaviour?
Cruise?
Patrick?
Yeah,
No
Tom
idea.
Cruise.
Don't really care.
Jumping on the couch incident.
Your thoughts there?
Later tonight, in
There's
a
just
break
a
from
really
our
cat
usual
done.
responsibilities, Jeremy will be taking popular rapper Jesus to task
Oh,
over
I'm
his
reading
street credibility.
Jesus.
And then we'll both be meeting the team behind the new play that's got theatre critics buzzing with anticipation.
That's all coming up on tonight's
National Nightly News.
Oh.
First tonight, let's return to our main story.
With the shine coming off Advance's popularity,
And the honeymoon period pretty much
Are we
over.
meeting you
the
know who?
National
We're
Nightly
meeting
News
Jesus.
has spared no expense in bringing you the response to today's sanctions.
Why are we
from
meeting
across the
Jesus?
continent.
Joining
No,
us to help
Jesus.
digest this shocking development, our Prime Minister Peter Clement
Two
from
of
his
these
home in
people are the
Lancashire.
same.
Good evening, Jeremy.
And from Urkistan, Foreign Minister Ivan Vodovich.
It's a great pleasure. Miss Wolf, you like...
And from Svenland, Minister of Mojo, Björk.
Hey, everybody.
Minister Vodovich,
Aw.
your country pushed especially hard for these sanctions. Any regrets?
My only regret is I was not able to see the face of my old friend Peter Clements when the results of the vote were announced. As you say, he has one up in your bottoms.
In Svenland,
not
we
right
try
now,
not to
Ari. We
draw
can't
attention
hydrate.
because it's seen
Oh,
as really
when
ugly and
Ethan's not
dangerous to
ready.
some small creatures, yeah?
Oh, don't worry, Minister. Ivan and I go way back. He's a wind-up merchant who can't put for shite.
Pete.
Just trying to get a rise out of me.
You're like a man who load dissidents onto train to labor camp, not because of love of country, but to make up for the size of his tiny penis.
Been on the vodka, Ivan.
I like that penis incense.
Are you ready for this? That's the only insult he has.
Lullaby.
Oh,
But actually, he's
no.
squealing like a pig in hands of Randy Big Dick Farmer. Eh?
Actually, we Finlandians, we aren't size obsessed. We value passion, yeah? Like the way we spoke up for Mr. Clemens' country at the World Council.
That's all well and good. And high and mighty, but where were you for the actual vote then? Our finger in each other's fjords?
Actually, that's kind of racist. And if you must know, I've had like a really tiring afternoon and my tongue is very sore.
Prime Minister, with Advance's popularity on the wane.
You don't
From
have to bring
talking.
that up at every given opportunity.
That's not what's
you know?
being implied.
Peter is like man who think he's sniffing flowers in beautiful glade.
But also,
But he's
I didn't really
actually
hear it
standing under
because
outflow pipe from shit factory at shit flushing time on day of village festival of shit. I tell him this at 19th hole.
Minister Vodovich believes that left to their own devices, people will behave selfishly.
It's nature of all beasts.
However, in this country, we think our citizens are capable of being more than beasts.
Pathetic idealism.
Minister Björk, Svenland has long had radically different traditions and culture from the rest of the world, and yet it peacefully coexists. Why do you
I'm assuming
think this is?
Svenland's supposed to be Sweden.
I think maybe the world sees us
I
as
don't know.
something they can actually...
You'd probably
spiritually
understand these
enlighten to,
references
yeah?
much better.
Yeah, or maybe it's the orgy houses.
Sometimes when foreign dignitaries come to visit us, they're actually quite skeptical, actually. So we take them on a visit to the Dunga district and show them what
I'm
life
sorry,
of
the
a
what
resident life
district?
society looks like.
Shit of bull. Svenland is like woman who thinks she make best cake in village hot baking contest. And then when she slices it open, it's just full of piss and cum.
Yeah.
That's, well,
What a lovely
that's
message.
just really gross, actually.
Svenland
Same,
is
I
a
agree.
tiny country. With population smaller than number of people, Peter Clemens is sex with his teeny tiny penis.
It's not all about size, actually.
Yes, that's what Peter Clemens always claimed.
I'm talking about population size.
And I'm talking about Peter Clemens' teeny tiny...
Oh, fuck off, Ivan!
Oh, Prime Minister, please.
It's so easy to sit on your pile of money and gloat, isn't it, pal? You're a shite leader, a fucking god-awful golfer, and quite frankly, as my old man used to say, you're a bit of a cunt.
Prime Minister, please.
Oh, throwing in some Australian there, I
Minister
see.
Vodovich, please.
Your people are fucking starving, pal!
We will see how well fed your people
Oh,
are when the
it's
sanctions
Britain.
start to bite.
Got it.
Yeah.
You think your man like big scary wolf person
Took me way
terrorizing
too long.
village. When actually,
I only started thinking about that when you mentioned like 4 might be Sweden. I'm like, oh, they're supposed to be representing countries.
UK and
In Finland, we believe
Russia?
like the size of your penis isn't as important as the love it contains, yeah?
Oh, fuck off!
It's either Sweden or
Okay,
like
if everybody
Finland.
could just calm down.
You're so smug on golf course. They are like man who fuck pig and somehow give her birth to beautiful lady girl. Huh. But now you start to see, yes? The people never happy. It's never enough.
It's certainly true that Advance's popularity
It's on the fucking wane! Yeah, let's go with this bollocks again, shall we? Actually, you know what? Nah, fuck this. I'm done with this.
Prime Minister, please don't storm out.
No. I have had enough of you, Mr. Jeremy Donaldson, and your Snyder side.
At least he said his
You
name
think you
properly.
could make a better job of things, do ya? Because it's not that fucking easy, let me tell ya. Your channel is a fucking disgrace. You
I don't know, we get the numbers.
and edit against us and pick your headlines so people don't trust us. The sooner you roaring monsters are taken into public ownership, the happier everyone in this country will be.
Oh boy.
Well, we've not got long until the adverts, so...
I'm sorry for the outburst, Miss Wolf. Julia thinks very highly of you, and I know you're not the one making the editorial decisions.
Do any of you have anything
No,
you wish
it's
to
us.
add about the
Us doing that.
sanctions?
My work here is done. I like man who happy he lie down with fatty, drunk, easy girl from
We
village
played
inn.
advertisement 1, right?
Discovered in morning. He wakes
Sorry to
up
interrupt,
and
but I
beautiful
wanted
news
just...
reporter lady.
I don't.
You know, I think it
know.
would be a terrible shame, yeah, if the people
I don't
of
even
your
know- I
country
didn't
were
even
to
see which
suffer
one you
because
put
of
in.
teenage grudges and personal rivalries, yeah.
Put any
Thank
in?
you. Prime Minister?
This country, this wonderful, civilized, creative, inventive country, we're not scared of these sanctions. There's no wolves at our door, only the best of people striving
I'm
to help
guessing we
out.
didn't put them in.
So no, Ivan, we're not afraid. In fact, I doubt we'll lose a wink of sleep because we're
Okay.
strong and we're well resourced. And we don't back down to bullies.
And on that note, we have to wrap up.
Ministers, Prime Minister, thank you for joining us.
We'll be back after these messages.
1 minute back.
Peter, you're so easy. So many buttons to push.
Piss off, Ivan.
Well, I see you at Graham's this weekend.
No, I've got meetings. Some tossers impose sanctions on the country.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, wow.
So that
Yep,
happened?
that happened.
Roaring monsters.
Public ownership.
You two are like a couple who think you are king and queen of village, when actually you are just puppets on this evil, shitty hand puppet label.
New government censorship should show up in blue. Same as regular censoring. Keep an eye out for the advanced blue waveform.
Oh, okay.
Should we censor any of those, Belle?
Nope.
No, we're just gonna let it.
Instant bow.
Okay.
Foreign royalty.
What?
But if it starts decreasing our viewership, I will censor
Have
it.
they given you the Crown Prince report?
Because I don't know if it's like part of the game or not to do it.
Jeremy, he'll be interviewing you.
Yo, thanks for having me on your show, man.
It's quite all right.
Yo, just a quick one. You're not gonna ask me about the chimp, are you?
Live in 10 seconds.
No,
Keep that
Jay
to
Sus.
yourself. I'm just saying.
No, but like I'm assuming the reference
Going
is
in
Kanye.
5, 4, 3.
Unless it's Jay-Z.
Welcome back. I'm
Which would
Megan
make
Wolf.
sense with the name.
Later, we have an exclusive first look at a theatrical sensation everyone's going to be talking about. But first, it's time to go over to the culture spot with lovely old Jeremy Donaldson, who's joined by a very special guest. Jeremy.
Okay.
Thanks, Megan. I have the honour and privilege
Honor.
of being joined by hip-hop royalty. He's been called the son of the streets and the father of truth. Not sure how that works, but whatever. Let's welcome Jesus.
Hi.
Thanks, Jeremy. Yeah, it's a real honor to be here on your show, The News. You know, as a kid on the streets, I used to watch you through a window of the shop, so to be here right now is crazy.
You've had quite the journey to be
How
here
old is
today.
Jeremy?
Can you tell us about it?
Well, you know, I try not to, well, you know, the past is the past, and I don't like to dwell on it.
I understand. You
But yeah, man, the streets is all I remember. Like, my mother donated me to a charity shop soon after I was born. Elderly lady took pity on me. You know, she let me sleep on a pile of crime fiction until I taught myself how to walk.
Wow, that's quite the childhood.
And she died tragically. Right there in my arms, man.
Okay.
You know, I remember a tear falling as she laid there next to the used homeware. And in that moment, I became a child of the streets. I was just 18 months old.
That's not
What
how
a tale.
What? At all?
a
What? What?
You're known for your direct and honest
18
lyrics.
months old,
Was your
Belle.
style informed by
That's
your
not how that
In
works.
his arms.
Oh, like I said,
That's not how
I
it
try not
works.
to talk about it. It's just, it's just too hard.
Of course.
But my first album is about the story of the first 4 times I stole, so I wouldn't starve. A small group of infants came to see me as their de facto leader. They call me Mr. Cheese Slice. Anyway, we were like a family.
Looks directly into camera.
Recently, you've been quite outspoken about the government.
Yeah, fuck the government. Fuck Advance. Fuck Peter Clement.
Oh.
What is it that you object to so vehemently?
Okay, I am trying
Well,
to just
you know,
censor
they stole
the
from us. They're
red
taking
and
our
not the
money
blue.
and spending it, man.
Redistributing it. Actually, homelessness has been all but eliminated in the last couple of months.
So?
Surely that's a cause close to your heart?
Yeah. Nah, of course, man. Very much so. I just mean, like, why do I have to pay for it, you know?
You don't. People have been rehoused on property seized from the historically wealthy. And that couldn't have been you, could it?
Look, yeah, I worked hard to be here. I built
Are
this
you adding
from
yourself?
nothing, and I deserve to be rewarded for that.
Super sus,
Would you
right?
say you worked harder than, say,
Super sus,
a
yeah.
farmer or a care worker?
I don't know. But if people are taking something from my music, choose to value it, buy it, who's to say I don't? And no one can take that away from me.
Not even to help, say, vulnerable children? Mr. Cheese Slice?
What is it you're trying to say?
I just don't understand where you've placed yourself politically. I mean, is it ideological or is it tactical?
Well, it's more of
Or
like...
maybe it's hereditary.
Stop trying to tie me in knots with your words, Jeremy. I let the music speak for itself. And the people agree with me.
Well, that remains to be seen. But you have given me a very easy segue out of a conversation that I promise you was much more painful for me than it was for you. So here he is with his hit song, Mrs. Ludlow's Tears.
Oh, no. I'm going to do something a little different. It's a new single I've been working on.
Oh, so this is unapproved, is it?
Yeah. You love it.
Excellent. Don't worry, we've got a state-of-the-art censorship system. What's the worst that could happen? So here he is with a new song.
Oh, no.
Aren't we lucky? It's Jesus!
First, you're gonna pay.
Oh boy.
You're gonna pay back.
Here we go, another musical number.
Well, we're all different races from many different places. At any given moment, only one could be the greatest. So you can feel the elation from your participation. Still two leaders in this motherfucking nation. Now we're getting sanctioned, talking about expansion. Why does Julius require a massive fucking mansion? So fuck all your schemes. I don't need your freaky team, and I don't need your help to achieve my fucking dreams.
That's a lot of swearing. Now then.
So don't make a fuss when you find you're one of us. Yeah, every single one of you's a bit Jesus. And you can call me crazy, cause no one ever pays me. But I won't waste a lifetime being motherfucking lazy. I may be inventive, my taste may be expensive. But why would I get out of bed with no fucking incentive? Although it's contravention of your obvious intention. I like to eat a little of the fruits in my invention. You make us the same, but we're not all the same. All our dreams, all our schemes, all our means are not the same. The best of the praise, of the crest of the wave. Cause we're only equal people when we're motherfucking slaves. Take this fact, gonna stain it red. Gonna slam it into Peter Clemens' motherfucking head. Cause he's thick as shit, he's got a job he's unfit for. It's time to storm the castle with a motherfucking pitchfork. So this is for the snub ones, the push and the shove ones, the folks that feel the burden.
Wow, that
of
is
their
a lot.
motherfucking loved ones who had plenty like a motherfucking Bentley. The ones who now finding out their bank accounts are empty. The ones of aspiration who had to flee a nation. The ones who built a business out of dreams of perspiration. There's all sorts of people, the good and the evil. It only takes a glance to see we're not all equal. You make us the same, but we're not all the same. All our dreams, all our schemes, all our means are not the same. And the best of the praise, serve the rest of the ways. Cause we're only equal people when we're motherfucking slaves. Gonna take this fact, gonna stay it red. Gonna slam it into Peter Clemens' motherfucking head. Cause he's thick as shit, he's got a job he's unfit for. Time to storm the castle with a motherfucking pitchfork. Get out of your seats, get your asses in the streets. Set a fire in the building, let him feel some fucking heat. Take your hate to go getters, no squilling big letters, and burn them on the powers of advances fucking letters. Gonna take
Because I'm struggling to switch cameras and censor at the same time.
Cause he's thick as shit, he's got a job he's unfit for. Time to storm the castle with a motherfucking pitchfork. Chase that dream, you don't need a fucking team. And advances little dances aren't as harmless as it seems. Cause they're stale and corrupt, then you're angry or wrong. Let your hearts and your minds and your fists to destruct.
Oh, that was difficult.
Jesus there with his new song. Thank you so much for joining us in the studio.
I'm
sorry. I may not agree with you, but I'd just like to offer you an apology. I've just been told that there was some kind of issue upstairs, and an attempt was made to censor some of your lyrics.
What?
I didn't.
Are you joking?
Well,
I'd
you
just like
swore.
to say to you and everyone at home that this was a mistake.
This is absolutely ridiculous. I cannot believe this.
Here at the National Nightly News, we pride ourselves on remaining neutral,
We did.
unbiased, and independent of any outside
There
interference.
just wasn't any
You
swearing.
have my word. We will never censor ideas. Back to you, Megan.
Well, a bit of dangerous language there, sorry about that. Well, thank you to little Jeremy Donaldson for providing our context.
Little.
Coming up, we'll be speaking to a couple of familiar faces about their upcoming dramatic outing. Don't go away. We'll
Oh,
be
no.
right back after this.
That's the ad.
Just to remind you, fixing that old VCR.
No, this is ridiculous. Who's up
Pass
on
that break.
This is just a mix-up, I'm sure. Now, if you come with me, I really do have to ask
Oh,
you to
trust me.
leave it.
My father's going to hear about this.
I understand.
My father's gonna hear about
This
this.
is unbelievable, Megan.
Thanks,
I don't know what you're
Draco.
talking about, Jeremy.
Oof, also, my phone died in the middle of that. That's all right.
Oh, dear. There was also a drink redeem at some point.
Drink redeem. Holy.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, shut up it.
Look at him.
If we could just get you in position.
Oh, say no more. Say no more.
Megan, Jeremy, you remember Mr. Algebra?
Oh,
Vividly.
no.
And Mr.
Vividly.
Harris, and this is Ms. Raiden.
What?
Philippa, please.
We're back together again, eh? Who'd have thought it?
Perhaps a lower order demon.
Yes, it is awfully exciting, isn't it?
Right, okay then. We're going live in 10 seconds, opening on camera 1.
Thank you.
Sorry. Cheers.
5,
What did he
4,
just give him?
3.
Welcome back, and no,
Very
you're not
sus.
mistaken. Sitting across from us are some very familiar faces.
You really are too kind, Megan. It was only a yogurt commercial, but I'm still proud of it.
Here to talk about his new show, we're joined by National Treasure Tommy Harris, the National Theatre's Philippa Raiden, and National Deficit Jeff Algebra.
It's so lovely to have you all.
National
Tommy,
Deficit.
Would you like to tell us about the show?
You know what? I'd bloody love to. It's about me. It's about my life.
And where did the idea come from?
So, right, picture this. Their legs akimbo, mid-session, sweat is pouring out of me like an immense
That sounds really
hog.
sus.
And then Cindy comes in, she says, Pete's on the phone.
That's Peter Clement, the Prime Minister.
Yeah, Pete's actually a really good mate of mine.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah, no, he comes to training sometimes. He's actually a pretty good goal sweeper. Anyway, so, yeah, Pete, he says, Toby, he thinks my name's Toby, see? He says, how would you like
Thinks his name
to
is Toby.
spread your message of team spirit and cooperation across this fractured nation? How would you like to really make a difference in these desperate times?
What did you say?
Yeah, right, yeah.
So, Jeff, the question on everyone's lips is, what in God's name are you doing here?
Well, after the success of my debut work and all the people that I've touched, I knew that I had a in theatre.
Freezing.
I've always been an admirer of Tommy from afar. So when my manager phoned and said that I'd been offered the gig as director, I was ecstatic. I whipped my trousers off and got straight to work.
Why did you do that?
I do all my best work with my trousers off.
Yeah, I've been told that.
Valid.
No, I wouldn't say so.
Hello, I
Well,
returned.
Tommy,
Welcome
would you just
back.
give us a sense of what the show
I miss Jesus.
You missed Jesus.
About how
You
hard
did
it
miss
is for me
Jesus.
and some of the struggles that I've faced. It's like really getting to the heart of how tough it is to be me. I call it Tommy Harris, Jesus, that was hard.
It's catchy. We actually have some clips of the process of the show.
Hello,
Would you mind
thank you.
telling us what's going on here?
Yeah, so the show is built around two things that are very important to me. It mixes
Thank you
scenes
for the hydrate.
from my
You
life,
will remind
as
Zane
well as epic
when she can
fantasy
get a drink.
retellings of scenes from my life.
But Dad, you promised you'd come to my graduation.
I'm sorry, son. You're an embarrassment.
But Dad, you promised you'd come to my graduation.
Back, demon! Back to the hells!
My God.
what's it been like co-starring with Tommy Harris?
I've always dreamed of treading the boards at medium-scale regional theatres, Megan. And for once, this show really gives me something to sink my teeth into.
What's different about this show, then?
Tommy, Mr. Harris's show really lets me show my tremendous range as an actor. I've always suffered from typecasting, forced
Look at
to play
the
the same
range
tired
of
characters in
hats.
every god-awful yogurt
Oh,
advert.
that is a lot of hats.
Godforsaken
Amazing
soap opera,
range
or,
of
God
hats.
forbid,
Oh my
a
God.
pantomime.
Wow.
But, you know, this show has really let me just go there.
Jeff, the viewers
Amazing.
at home will be dying to know exactly what is it that you bring to the show.
Good question. I think these guys would agree with me when I say that it's my steady hand on the tiller, my arm round the shoulder approach that's really brought the production from strength to strength.
Absolutely right. Jeff's contributions are immeasurable. He was our rock.
Can you give us a sneak peek of anything else that might be in the show?
Yeah, all sorts, yeah.
Yeah. We've got lots of exclusive first-hand experiences of Tommy's time in the underground sports board scene.
And some epic fantasy retellings of Tommy's time in the
Fantasy
underground sports
retelling.
board scene.
Epic fantasy retellings.
With ribbons.
Performative dance?
You'll never take the sacred pass!
And am I right in saying this was officially commissioned by the government?
Yeah, all paid for by the taxpayer, which,
Government likes
to be
it.
honest, was actually a lifesaver, really.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that without Advance's support, we'd have had to cut the finale.
Which, frankly, would have been a travesty.
Oh, God, Jesus Christ!
Goodness, and you do this every night?
Absolutely. It's a metaphor.
Okay, the dragon's pretty good.
Pretty good, right?
Yeah.
For its time.
And the public are footing the bill, are they?
Too bloody right they are. Between the cost of my tour bus and the dry cleaning of my ties, I'm barely scraping a profit here.
Amazing. And where can the folks at home come and see this for themselves?
We're performing all over the nation.
And people can see it for absolutely free, all courtesy of Advance. Isn't that incredible, Jeremy?
Yes, it's unbelievable, Megan.
Well, thank you all so much for coming.
This is
Next time
so
we see you, no doubt you'll have
sarcastic,
taken our
Jeremy.
jobs.
Yeah.
That's all we have time for tonight. Join us tomorrow when I'll be interviewing the world's most attractive horse.
I'm sorry?
I'm Jeremy Donaldson.
And I'm Megan Wolfe. And from all of us here, have a peaceful night.
That's the ads. Let's
World's
get
most
reset for
attractive
tomorrow,
horse?
please.
Hey,
Horse,
we
I
must
guess.
stop bumping into each other like this, eh?
Oh.
Oh,
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. Good. Good, guys.
That was weird. You remember how, Ren, you remember how we saw at the end there when Jeremy shook hands with that guy? Like he
Yeah,
was like
yeah.
something. And then just now at the beginning, I made sure to take a good look. It looks like it was that Tommy guy or whatever, that sports ball guy. He was the one who did it first to Jeremy.
Oh.
Yeah. So I think whatever it was that got on Jeremy did it to the algebra guy.
Just so he can get back right.
I don't know. It's weird. He made a face and then like they shook hands and then Jeremy makes a face. I'm just confused.
Typical Jeremy.
Oof. Well, do you think we have time to
Do another day?
maybe just go through the story? I don't know if we're gonna have time for another work day.
I don't know if we'll have another work day. It was like, what, 20 minutes-ish?
Let's go through the story.
Yeah. 30 minutes. 30 minutes.
The loading tip guy is off today, so there isn't one. What's a loading
Fair
tip
enough.
guy?
So someone who creates the loading tips that show up here.
What's a loading tip?
The stuff that'll show up like, did you know if you press X, this will do Y?
Oh.
Oh,
A lot
okay.
of days. That's a lot of days.
Mhm.
Okay.
That is
okay.
indeed days.
A sign of things to come.
I will leave the reading back to Ren.
Hey! Shopping. Something that always seemed so tedious before the sanctions has become even more of a chore now. You managed to get almost everything you need for the family this evening, but you'll have to come back tomorrow to get through the week. There's a queue to leave the car park, though it's hard to make out why in the dark. I can't read that.
Hopefully whatever's causing it won't be.
Ah, it's the
Right,
cars.
So instead of doing the advanced thing, and instead of the advanced membership card thing, we have sanctions implied onto put onto our country.
Sanctions.
Yeah, other countries are like what? Basically, like, oh, we're not trading with you. We're not doing things with you.
So this is why like where shopping is taking long this time. Remember last time that wasn't it?
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Let's keep going.
As the final car in front of you drives off, you realize the queue is actually due to a checkpoint set up at the exit. A friendly-looking man in an advanced uniform, CCO, emblazoned in a number of places on it, approaches your car and knocks on the driver's side window. You roll it down. Good evening. Okay, that's you.
Sorry.
So
Good evening.
fine.
Nothing to worry about. I was just wondering if I could see your team membership card, please. Are these cards supposed to be voluntary? I'm sorry, I don't have one. Ah, that's not a problem. We've got the forms with us right here, and we're more than happy to sign you up.
Man
Then
gestures to his colleague behind him, a young woman in a similar uniform. She clearly received the short end of the stick and is stuck with the paperwork.
I thought these cards weren't required. Well, strictly speaking, they're not, but there's also loads of benefits to having them and no reason to not get one. His smile fades a bit, and when he put a hand on to scratch the back of his neck for a moment, he leans over to you, his presence now seeming a little intimidating. No thanks, it's not something I want right now.
Oh boy. Alright.
Alright, here we go.
Oh no.
Almost instantly, the friendly demeanor is gone and his expression is one of stern disapproval.
Well, obviously, I can't make you sign up, but I would strongly recommend you do, and soon. We wouldn't want people to think you had anything to hide, would we?
Takes a step back and gestures for you to drive on. You're sure you see him writing something down in your rear view mirror, and as you head home, somewhat more hurriedly than before.
Clearly, Advance are very keen on keeping everyone joining the team.
Oh boy. Probably wrote down our car license number.
Plate.
An invitation worth ignoring?
It's a Saturday, one of your few days off, and you've made the most of it. But as late afternoon draws on, the invitation sits pinned on the fridge, staring accusingly at you. The Channel 1 Gala is a mandatory work event, Boseman was very quick to tell you. Also, don't you dare be late.
You can't make non-paid work events mandatory, it's illegal.
So which one?
I guess in this case we can go.
So
you do want to
go? This one?
Yeah, we still want to be someone in good standing without people who pay us.
True. He did pay for our hospital bill, right?
You can live with another note. Oh yeah, that whatever the one's like we go.
Better start getting ready. You wonder if Sam will give you a lift. A drink or two might help with the enforced office socializing. Hopefully it won't be too bad. After all, you're pretty good at your job.
Right?
Kinda. I'm okay.
I understand.
A national news night. ANNN.
ANNN. Again, you arrive on time, barely at the Sauvignon?
Yep.
Sauvignon?
Say it so. Sauvignon sounds fancier.
Okay, Sawanyo, one of the oldest and grandest hotels in the capital. You're surprised to see a queue to get in and quickly realize it's because people are being searched at the door by some very military-looking personnel in smart attire. While you're waiting, you can't help but notice just how very opulent the building is. Possibly the fanciest place you've ever been to in your life. Actually, tacky.
You submit to being patted down, and with a sigh of relief, are led into the hotel.
I mean, yeah. Once inside, you're directed to the grand ballroom, and following the signs, you marvel at the sheer scale of the place and the amount of armed security guards.
The decorations are shit.
I know, right? It's just terrible.
What is this? What is this like airport carpet?
Oh my god!
pattern
Yeah,
that you
you're
have
right.
going? It's
right.
It's like walking into the carpeted airport.
Oh my
Anyway.
god, you're right.
All I can
When
see
you
are the
finally
drinks.
arrive. Well, I mean,
Drinks,
yeah.
drinks.
No, when you finally arrive, a very severe-looking woman at the doors asks for your name.
Your
Alex
name?
Winston.
Oh, okay.
She curtly checks her list before whispering something to the waiter beside her. Yes, Zane?
You made it just in time to be seated before
Oh my
dinner. Please follow Emmanuel here to your seat.
The waiter smiles at you and opens one of the great double doors, gesturing for you to enter. Immediately, you can see why it's called the Grand Ballroom. It looks
Pause
like
for a
shit.
second to take a look at it all. Take it all in.
Yep. You feel a slight tap on your arm and Emmanuel gestures for you to follow him. He seats you at a table in the central floor area with a decent view of the stage. Clearly, you're in Bozeman's good books at the moment. You're sat with some colleagues you've seen around the Channel 1 offices before, but you don't know that well. One of them informs you, far too excitedly, it's a very corporate evening of awards and speeches.
At least the food should be good.
I mean, God, I hope with that kind of garb. Yeah.
Sauvignon.
Dinner is in Sauvignon. Dinner is indeed lovely, and with the help of the, no doubt, very expensive wine, conversation flows easily enough. In fact, much to your surprise, you're actually presented with an award for Best Newcomer to the Chanel 1 family.
Word of warning, if a company calls you their family, run.
Run.
They're just looking to exploit you. Well, this was unexpected.
Owls, not unexpected at all. I did so good at my job.
You did.
Not unexpected at all.
Well, as you walk up to collect it, you recognize the presenter as Dr. Adrian Atkinson Blimey of Incissor fame. Blimey. He thanks advance for sponsoring this year's gala. Before specifically thanking Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement for being in attendance tonight. And as you take the stage, you see the frontmost central table does indeed seat the Prime Ministers, as well as Bozeman, Megan, and some other very well-to-do types that you don't recognize. Well, that explains all this security. As you're handed the award, Dr. Atkinson Blimey asks if you'd like to say a few words.
Make a joke thanking Dave for fleeing the country and leaving you his job.
That sounds very you. Most of the room.
Hey! Hey! What are you
Most of the
implying,
room
sir?
breaks out into polite laughter. But you see that neither of the Prime Ministers crack so much as a smile. Oof. And nor does Bozeman. He's too busy frantically flipping between examining Peter and Julia for a reaction and glaring daggers at you. Eventually, they join in the light applause as Adrian ushers you back to your seat.
That may not have been the smartest move. Well, I think it was.
Just as you're finishing up dinner, one of the other people at your table points behind you. As you turn, you see Bozeman walking briskly past, with Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement in tow. You're pretty sure he was pointedly ignoring you. He seems to be introducing the Prime Ministers to a selection of people at different tables.
Better than you.
You finish off the rest of the meal, listen to the last few speeches, and then head home. All in all, it was a surprisingly nice evening. You might actually look forward to the next one.
Providing Bozeman invites you to that one, of course. Okay, well, I guess that is a good time for us to to stop here then.
Oh yeah, that is true. It's gonna get super heated. Wink. Wink.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Yes.